I started to wonder, and I wondered, which led me to wonder. I had to wonder. I started to wonder. I couldn't help but 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 wonder.
What the fuck is up, gamers and ghouls? Welcome to City Girls Make Do, your favorite Sex in the City podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie, and I'm buying Krispy Kreme donuts on Amazon, so don't tell Weight Watchers or they might pull our product placement.
And I'm Alex. I'm Jeff Bezos' sugar baby.
Oh, good.
I wish I would fucking redistribute that wealth.
Yeah, no shit. Just, like, give it to everybody. Like, fuck you, Jeff Bezos, and this episode. Well, this episode was fine, but fuck you for putting Amazon in this episode, you little bitch.
Yeah.
This is season 5, episode 4, Cover Girl, and it's kind of a filler week for us.
Yeah. Yeah, it like that's the thing. So I said this in the Discord that like I just clicked the wrong episode and thought it was a series finale with Nathan Lane. So I was like, oh my god, Steph didn't mention that Nathan Lane was here. And then yeah, I was like, oh, this is the wrong fucking episode. That's why.
No, it's just like an episode. Like, there's not really anything substantial that happens in it. Like, there's a couple funny moments, but like, and there's some nice friendship moments, but like, for the most part, it's so like unsubstantial plot wise. So, but it's fine. I guess we can just start it because it's not that exciting. Carrie is meeting with her publishers again, so Amy Sedaris and Molly Shannon, who are delightful to see on screen again.
We do love to see them.
Yeah, we love to see them. And they are showing her the cover of Sex in the City, her book, and the second Carrie sees it, she just screams, "No!"
Well, they put it out, and I also mentioned this, that it's like it's like a picture from Madonna's sex book, like literally, I think it's the same picture. Just with Carrie's face slapped on.
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah, because it's like the exact same way that the bands like cover the titty pussy areas, and then but then it says Sex in the City over top of it, and then there's Carrie's head just planted on top of it, and it's like you can see like a busy New York street all in black and white on it. Like I don't know, it's not great, but like Carrie obviously hates it because she's like, I don't want to be like on a naked body on the cover of this magazine.
Yeah.
Or not magazine, my book, the cover of my book. But yeah, no, she doesn't really care for it. And then they're like, okay, well, that's, a pretty bad reaction, I guess. But the thing is like sex sells and the book is about sex. So that's kind of where we're going.
Like, it's about Sex and the City. So here's you naked in the city.
Get it?
Do you get it? Do you get it?
Yeah, and Carrie's like, I don't get it, because the column is really about relationships, not sex. Even though I have sex and talk about sex, but it's not the same thing as showing you sex.
And it's called Sex and the City. Don't think about it.
Think about it.
Don't think about it. It's not clearly like, it's not for people of average intelligence. It's for IQs 180 and over.
Oh, yeah. You have to be a genius to understand this book cover. Mm-hmm. And so they're kind of like, okay, well, we could try to like rework this maybe. We'll figure something out. And Carrie's like, okay, thanks. Well, let me just see it like one more time. And then she's like, nope, still hate it.
Yeah. It's like, it's great. I mean, I think it's like a good cover. I understand her reasonings for it. And obviously, like, it's her book, so she can do whatever she wants. But I was a bit like, if it just had someone else's body, I don't think it's like atrocious.
Yeah, I don't. It's not like they had her fully naked. Like, it looks like it could be her, but it's obviously not her actual body. But yeah, one thing that I always thought was kind of weird about like when people in like movies and TV shows do body doubles for like butts and shit, or like boobs. I'm like, this is weird because it's like some people are just gonna think that's your boobs anyway. But then also like sometimes I'm like, this is just like an ass. Like, it's not even like a particularly like shit. That's like a nice ass. It's just like, I don't know what the point was, but That's kind of unrelated.
I don't know. Like, the most famous body double was, Cersei.
Yes.
Cersei's titties, which was a great body double, I have to say. But it would be kind of weird for everyone to think that was your body when it's not.
Yeah, true. Because it's not like they were like, oh, we're going to make it so that your, like, titties are popping and stuff like that. It's just, like, a body. Like, it's, I don't know. But yeah. I guess it's awkward to be on set and, like, have to be in front of a bunch of people naked. Like, don't want to take that for, like, underestimate that, but still.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, she fucking hates it. And she just completely throws it out and is like, give me some time. I'll come up with a cover that I like. And they're like, okay, cool. So the girls go book shopping to, peruse, see what the covers are like, as, judging books by their cover. Yeah. They seem to be, like, in a massive bookstore. It's one of those ones with escalators, and those are so sexy, I have to say.
I love those bookstores. They are very sexy. I feel like I gotta say, I do judge books by their covers a lot because, like, I don't know, if you're gonna try to make your book, like, look interesting, are you not gonna, like, put the time in to make it look somewhat nice? Like, if your book just looks like shit, I'm probably not gonna be interested in reading it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Because it is true to a point, Like, how else? You can't read the book fully before you buy it, which is more reason to support your local library.
That's a really good point. Everyone should use libraries more. It's just book communism, so we should just do it. But I don't know. I'm like this a lot with, like, tattoo shops. Like, I'll see a tattoo parlor, and if their logo, like, if their sign looks like shit, I'm like, well, there's, like, you literally have artists working here. Like, you couldn't have done anything better. Like, how good are your artists if your logo looks like this?
Yeah, my local tattoo shop is, like, it looks terrible. It looks like the type of place that, like, bikers go to, which is fine, but it's not for me. I would only, like, I would never, I remember I once looked at their artists out of curiosity. I was like, well, it would be nice if I could get something decent done, like, literally just down the road.
Yeah.
But I was like, no.
Yeah.
No, I was right.
The thing is, sometimes, like, you can't always judge things right away. Like, I mean, I know that I'm sometimes a little judgmental, but, like,
just a little bit.
Sometimes that's not always a bad thing. So
no, that's the thing. You can be judgmental if you're right, and we are always right.
That's the thing. People will be like, wow, you, like, really, like, were kind of harsh on this person really fast. And then, like, a month later, they're like, wow, it turned out that all of your initial judgments were right. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. Yeah. I have intuition. But anyway.
Exactly. I love when people are like, Alex, you're being really mean. And I'm like, okay, give me 5 minutes. Give them, I will give them a chance. But you give me a month. Give me a month.
Yeah.
And then fucking the day later, they prove me right. And I'm like, that's on trauma.
Right?
That's on trauma. That's because I've been traumatized enough that I can smell it.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
But some people, I mean, I definitely get it. Like, it is good to be just open, but at the same time, you've been fucking hurt enough times.
Yeah,
so
it's not for me, babes.
People. Yeah.
It's not for me.
They're book shopping, and Carrie's like, I don't like this cover, I don't like this cover, these are stupid, they're ugly, and Samantha is like, well, what do you want to look like on your cover? And Carrie's like, okay, well, like, smart, sexy, and properly airbrushed. And Samantha's like, well, this is what I do. Like, I do PR. So, like, if you want a certain thing portrayed, then, like, I'll talk to your publishers and get it done. And it'll cost you 2 martinis.
Yeah. It's cute because obviously it'd be extremely expensive to get your own PR person. But, I was helping out a friend, and Samantha's just doing it to be nice.
Exactly. We love Samantha.
And, and then they pretty much just like, they're like, okay, cool. And then we go over to Miranda and Charlotte, and Miranda wants to lose weight, her baby weight. And she's trying to find a diet plan, I suppose.
Yeah.
And Charlotte wants to go over to the self-help section.
I do love the horror music that plays during this scene, because she's like, she heard about this book called Starting Over Yet Again, and so she heads over to self-help, and she sees this woman crying dramatically on the floor while, like, reading a book, and there's, like, this screeching horror music, like, dum, 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 and Charlotte's just, like, horrified, and she finds the book, but she just puts it back on the shelf, and she's like, "Oh no, I'm looking for travel."
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. And she's like, "Oh, that book really helped me." And Charlotte's like, "Yeah, just travel over and over again." It's amazing.
It's very good. It's good to watch someone who's absolutely sobbing being like, "That really helped me." And then Miranda, I guess she finds some weight loss book that she wants, and the cashier is just like, "Oh, don't buy this. I did this diet when I was 24 and I put on a bunch of weight, so you should try Weight Watchers instead." She looks right into the camera and says, "Try Weight Watchers."
Yeah. And she's like, "Oh no, this is awful. Weight Watchers is the only way to help you lose weight.
And still eat the things you like.
You can even have dessert."
God. The number of people I know who do Weight Watchers. And it's like, it's definitely a lot better than like a normal diet thing, because it's like, you do still eat, and it's not like you're not tricking your body into thinking it's starving. But
yeah, I think, and also you like have the support of everyone else and stuff, and I think you have people like looking out for you in case you do lose too much weight or you're doing it unhealthily.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely know people who have done it and have lost weight and kept it off, but I also know people who've done it who have like put it straight the fuck back on, which is what this woman was saying.
Well, I guess the thing about it is it's kind of like, it's one of those things where like any diet, if you do it, like, if you just do it till you lose the weight and then stop doing it, then like, you're not going to really make a change. Like, you have to really actually change the way that you eat.
You need to like,
stupid,
I mean, they are stupid. I mean, I think with anything, it's just you need to learn. There's probably a reason for your weight, like, and it might literally just be genetics.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's definitely, there's so many factors. It's not all eating or anything like that. So,
no.
Yeah, she wants to lose her baby weight, so she takes the women's advice and decides to do Weight Watchers. We'll see later on in this episode. But before that, we go and we see Charlotte at home. So she was too embarrassed to buy the book in the store because of the, sobbing woman.
The shame.
Yeah, and so she goes right to Amazon.com, or, what we would call it here in Canada, Amazon.ca.
Oh, we're Amazon.co.uk.
That's what I figured it was.
I know, shocker.
Right? So she goes there. Remember when Amazon was just for books and didn't, own literally everything?
I don't remember that because I'm a baby.
I bought a chemistry textbook off of Amazon when I was like in my second year of university. And back then, like at that point, they were still mostly just books, I think. But things have changed.
Yeah, I definitely remember when they were like mostly books and household items and not fucking literally everything in the world.
Yeah.
It sucks. Like, I will need something which is like maybe a little bit niche, and I'll be like, well, the only fucking place to get it is Amazon.
Yeah, extremely, because they own the entire market on literally everything. So
yeah,
it's good. It's good to see. We love mega corporations.
We love monopolies.
We really do. Die Jeff Bezos. But yeah, so she's ordering the book from Amazon from the privacy of her house.
Isn't Amazon great? You could.
Yeah. She's got her glasses on so that she's reading.
Yeah.
It's like in Riverdale, they always do this thing where when they want Veronica to look smart, they put her in glasses. Like, she's looking over like a legal paper, so they put glasses on her. And I'm like, I know you're the second dumbest character on this show. Like, you're not fooling me.
I think, like, glasses do make you look smart, because there have been multiple times where I've said something which I know is untrue. Mm-hmm. But because I have glasses and a British accent, people are like, yeah, nah, she knows what she's talking about. No, I don't. I don't know shit, and I don't get stuff. Don't be fooled by the fact that I can't see very well.
But it means you read so much that your eyes are bad, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, it doesn't mean like I genetically have just fucking weak eyes.
No, of course not. So we go to Samantha next, and she is getting a package from a guy at her work, and she is being extremely horny at him. She's like, oh, that's quite a package, and she gets him to open the package, and then she's like, maybe I can open your package, and it's so much. It's very good.
This episode is sponsored by Audible. Do you ever watch a fucking, like, you listen to, like, a podcast or watch a YouTube video, and they're talking about something completely normal, and they go, anyway, this episode is sponsored by Audible. Do you like books? Do you like doing stuff, but you don't have time to read books because your fucking lizard brain needs attention 24/7? Why don't you try listening to Audible? And it's like, fuck you.
Yeah, truly fuck them. Fuck every podcast ad. If you're a podcast and you have ads, fuck you. Our only ad is shout out to Noisepace.xyz, and we don't make money off of it. I just love my boyfriend, so
that's good. I mean, I also love Matt, not in the same way you do, but like he's good.
True. Good boy. Not like
we
a dog,
love a good boy.
But
no.
So at this point, Carrie's going to meet Samantha at her work because like they want to have a business lunch and like talk about the PR stuff with their book cover, and she just walks in to Samantha's office while Samantha is giving this guy a blowjob. And
yeah, I will say about this scene, I just seen my notes and it says Samantha sexually harasses the delivery boy.
Yeah, she's basically just like, I'm extremely horny, fuck me here.
Yeah, she's like stroking him and she's like, oh, maybe I can take care of your package. And he's just like, yeah, sick, bruh. Fucking gnarly. Suck my dick.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what happens. So, Carrie, when she sees them, she freaks out and like she just straight up fucking bolts and leaves the office. She doesn't just like sit in the waiting room and like sit down and cover her face. She just fucking straight up leaves. So
yeah. Well, she like bashes her arm into the door frame as well because she's dramatic.
Yes,
she's a Libra.
True, she is. So then we go to Miranda, and she's getting weighed in at the Weight Watchers thing, and the person wrote the numbers down backwards, so instead of being like 158, she's supposed to be 152.8, but they wrote down 158.2. And so she goes to get reweighed, and the woman who reweighs her, like, yells to the other woman that she wrote the weight wrong and like reads the numbers out, and Miranda's like, can you please not just like yell my weight out to everybody? Like,
maybe people will be sensitive about their weight and their body image
at Weight Watchers.
Weight Watchers?
Yeah. The woman kind of is just like,
it's a lot.
Yeah, she's like, I'm sorry. And then some guy in line is like, well, it's fine. I weigh 240, and he has a name tag that says Big Boned. I saw that in my notes, and I thought it said Big Boner.
That one would be better. Fucking Big Dick Tom. Yeah, his name's Tom?
Just showing up to Weight Watchers with Big Boner on your name tag, like, what's good?
What's good? My dick is huge, but I'm also fat and I want to, lose a couple pounds, but not from my massive penis.
True. The penis is, I presume that's like 140 pounds of the 240. So
it's just like a skeleton with a huge dick.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Just like,
that's my dream, man.
Yeah, it's like, it's so wide that even though it's like 12 inches long, it's still considered a chode because of how thick it is. So
I feel like the truth of the matter is though, skinny boys do be having big dicks.
I feel like I've seen a skinny guy before whose dick was like a pencil, and it's like like extremely thin, and I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, you can't choose what your dick looks like, obviously, but
no.
I don't know.
If it matches the rest of you, that's rather interesting. Just on a factual basis. Whatever. Dicks, have whatever dick you want. Have whatever dick you have. Embrace your dick size. I'm into it.
I mean, the thing is, it's like all the same anyway. Like,
true.
Like, if you're gonna have it in something, like it's like, I don't know, they're mostly the same unless you're like absolutely like off the charts or something. So
yeah,
but
I did have a fucking adventure with a very well endowed man. It was not as fun as you'd think.
The thing is, it's just like there's a limit. Like there's like a plateau where it stops being good. It's like stop. Stop that.
It's like
tapping on the end of someone's dick. Stop that.
It's like the opposite, going tapping on it and going, hello? Is this thing on?
Hello?
Hello?
What the fuck is up, gamers?
I'm recording this whole podcast talking into a dick.
Yeah, the same. It's my microphone is not a Blue Yeti, it's a Blue Yeti's dick. So
I do have a blue fluffy sock over mine because I lost the like foam thing. So it does look a bit like a Yeti's dick.
Ooh, sexy. Except for the girth of a Blue Yeti mic is way too much. Like
way too much.
Way too much.
It is. Oh no, I don't want to think about that. I just crossed my legs in fucking fear.
Yeah, horrifying. So we go to Carrie and Stanford now, they're at Carrie's place, and Stanford is telling her about this new guy he's seeing, and he's like, don't judge me. He's a dancer. He's a Broadway caliber dancer, and I met him at line at Starbucks. And I'm like, why would we judge you for that? That sounds sick. Like,
yeah, and like, but Carrie's like, oh, you dated a dancer? Like, but I think she seems kind of judgmental that he's not on Broadway, you know? But like, he's obviously working up to that, and he seems to be younger and everything.
Yeah, like, he's definitely younger than Stanford, and like, okay, like, he's a pretty talented guy. Like, you don't have to be on Broadway to be like, you know, a successful career dancer, but
I remember I said to a director once, I was like, oh, I'm a writer, but I haven't had anything published. And she was like, that doesn't mean you're not a writer. And she looked me dead in the eyes, and I was like, oh my God, you're so right.
Wow. It is true, though. It's very true. So then Carrie gets a phone call from Samantha while she's still hanging out with Stanford, and Samantha's like, well, you sure couldn't have gotten out of my office any faster. Cause like, I guess Carrie just went home. Like, I think she went home to hang out with Stanford. And Samantha's like, basically just telling Carrie about her plans for the shoot because they didn't get to talk about it over lunch or anything. And so they're planning on doing it like this weekend or something. And Carrie says Stanford can come too because he's gay and bitchy, which is, she says it's her target demographic, which is like, I mean, that's just not true. But
yeah, I feel like her target demographic is single women.
Yeah, right?
And yes, the gays, because we love the gays, and the gays love, like, camp, middle-aged women, but her target demographic, wouldn't that be, like, us?
Right? Like, it's definitely people who are, like, probably, like, anywhere between probably mid-20s and, I don't know, and up of single women, I guess.
Yeah.
You don't even need to be a single woman to enjoy reading, like, columns like that, even, like, but still.
No, like, the demographic is the demographic of the show. I guess it is women and gay men who are really also our target demographic.
I guess the gay men, I'm trying to think of, like, the gay men listeners that we even have, and I'm, like, struggling to think of who our listeners are who aren't, like...
Nathan.
Nathan doesn't listen to our podcast, though.
That's true. And do you know what? He's fucking valid for that.
He's so valid.
He would never hear us being like, do you know what? Nathan's lovely, and he doesn't listen, but we do be loving him. Okay, it's just women and our male friends who, for some reason, straight male friends who, for some reason, listen to this.
Yeah, because I was going to say, yeah, there's Matt, but he's not a gay man. So, like, I don't know. But they're out there, and we're still keeping them in mind, even though they're probably not listening. But it's fine. So, but this gets Carrie to start writing, doing her question.
Yeah.
I bet that someone once said, just because you're not published, that doesn't mean you're not a writer, to Carrie. And she was like, I'm amazing. And then she did that.
She didn't take that to mean like, no, you're still a writer. Carry on doing your craft.
Yeah.
She took that to mean, yeah, I'm a genius.
She did. Yeah. Fully.
Yeah.
So she's writing, her conclusion is, like, open-minded is supposed to be good and closed-minded is supposed to be bad. So should you judge a book by its cover? And I feel like I heard her say these words, and I was like, in general, yes, like, open-minded, good, closed-minded, bad. I feel like I've taken a lot of, like, personality quizzes recently because my work like makes me take them sometimes. Like I've done like MBTI and a bunch of other shit for my work because they just love to do them. And I feel like a lot of the time I'm answering questions that are like, how much do you feel that you judge the other people around you in like ways where you don't want to, like, I don't know, but I always like have in mind certain people where I'm like, as soon as I see one red flag of something, I'm just not gonna want to talk to them ever. But it doesn't mean that you're like not open-minded, but like it makes it seem like if you make snap judgments based on certain things that you're not like open-minded. But it's like, but if someone is like acting like a Nazi, then I'm not gonna like be open-minded to hear their take is the thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, okay, so like, actually, funny story with that. So the other day, I was going home on the train, as I do, and there was someone dressed like a skinhead, and I was like, so I was searching for like to see if they were like good skinhead or bad skinhead, you know?
Yeah.
And there wasn't any like insignia, and I didn't see. They just had like normal black laces on and everything, so I didn't know, but. They're also like 5 foot tall, and I was like, I can take you, bitch.
You could. You absolutely
The world's tiniest skinhead. I was like, fight me. But it is, I could have judged them by their cover and maybe started having to go at them, but I just ignored them. But yeah, I know what you fucking mean. It's like,
I guess
to a point, you kind of have to keep yourself safe.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it depends on like exactly how much of a cover you're getting in terms of like, because sometimes someone fully says something that's like, okay, and then sometimes something just looks a little off, and you're like apprehensive. But like, I don't know, I feel like open-mindedness to a degree is like kind of a centrist idea where you're like, I'm open to hearing everybody's opinion on this and like maybe not even forming an opinion and just listening to all of them. And it's like, but some people are wrong and bad. Some people are bad people who are wrong. So I don't want to like, I don't know.
Like, exactly. And like, I mean, queer people have to do that. And Black people, every minority group like has to do that to survive.
You really have to. Like, I'm just thinking of like just being a woman and like the like guard you put up just interacting with any man. Like
like yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm walking home from the train station. Is this man a friend or foe? You know?
Like, I'm not gonna be open-minded about it. I'm not gonna like attack him for thinking he's a bad person, but I'm absolutely going to think maybe he is a bad person. So I guess that's what you do with that information. But
exactly, you should have like your initial impressions, but you should also be able to disregard them.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, I'm not, like we said, there is a difference between being judgmental to protect yourself and then being judgmental to hurt other people or to use that as a way to silence other people.
Well,
and
true.
we're talking,
and
Carrie is kind of dumb.
Mm-hmm.
So
Carrie is very dumb. She's kind of just like black, white. There's there's never an in between. Everything is like this, and she's dumb. But lucky for us, Charlotte is smart and knows how to read. Charlotte ordered her book, but now Amazon's giving her recommendations for other books she might enjoy, and they're all self-help books that make her seem like a loser. And she throws her book out the window of her apartment, which is like, I think Carrie's voiceover says like 8 stories up or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then it like lands. Also, it's fucking dangerous. It's a hardcover. But
like it just hits someone in the head at 400 miles per hour, killing them instantly. Like, realistically.
Yeah.
But no, it apparently lands at the feet of a woman who is contemplating divorce, and she considers it a sign from God, which this is one of those moments where like it's like a little Carrie invention in her column, maybe? How could Carrie possibly know this?
How could she know this? How could she know this? Unless that woman, like, went upstairs and fucking knocked on every single door and was like, did you drop this book? I'm gonna get divorced now as a sign from God, but I just want to thank you personally. It doesn't make any sense. Exaggeration. This bitch is a fucking Libra.
It's ridiculous behavior. Like, I hate this shit. You can't just make shit up for no reason. Like, this is supposed to be a nonfiction column. But anyway.
Yeah. Ugh. It's all fiction. It's all bullshit. Everyone's lying to you all the time.
Everyone, always keep your guard up, because someone's gonna come and make up a dumbass story about a book that falls 8 stories out the fucking building and doesn't kill them.
Oh God, yeah. But Tom and Miranda go on their day and they're talking about various diets.
Yeah, and they're talking about like artificial ingredients and stuff, and like food being really good. And I'm like, food is really good. And he kind of brings up that like his ex is really critical of him, and so like when people do criticize him, like that's when he's like, time for donuts.
Yeah, that's his like trigger. Yeah,
like,
that's perfectly makes sense. He's aware of what sets him off. That's like, he seems aware of himself, which I think is, listen, I quite like Tom.
I like Tom a lot too. I feel like Miranda was in the wrong in this episode, honestly. I feel like Tom is a great guy, and I relate to this a lot. It's one of those things where it's like, if I've been even remotely inconvenienced, or someone has been even like a tiny bit mean to me, I'm like, this just means that I deserve to have a really nice treat for myself today, and that treat is probably going to be ice cream. So like, extremely huge mood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good, but you know, he's sort of saying like, oh, this didn't work for me, and you know, they're like, oh, what about the cabbage soup diet? I hear it makes you really gassy. Yeah, it's eating nothing but fucking cabbage, mate.
Yeah, you're gonna have some cabbagey fucking farts.
Oh my God, I had cauliflower this evening, and I'm nervous about tonight, and I sleep alone.
Well, just like open a window, maybe.
Yeah. Let these fucking demons enter my house because I've been farting too much.
True. So there are a bunch of Krispy Kreme donuts there, and they look so fucking good. And Miranda's like, oh, well, why don't we split one? And then they kind of joke around like, how many Weight Watchers points is in one of these things anyway? Probably like 1 million. But then they split one, and Miranda's like, this is absolutely worth being fat for. And yeah.
Well, because, you know, being fat is a bad thing, and it makes you a morally reprehensible person if you are overweight.
God, that really is just like the show isn't outright saying it, but it's like, Miranda just had a fucking baby. Like, even if she hadn't, like, I guess we talked about this last week, even with like the fucking comment that they had in the casino episode, but it's like they're basically just being like, oh yeah, it's only fine for her to be fat because she just had a baby. And it's like, it really shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't matter, but I understand her being self-conscious and stuff.
Yes, I definitely understand the self-conscious aspect of it. From like the storytelling perspective, like the character perspective of Miranda feeling that way is definitely very valid. More like the framing of it, especially like last week with the war that they had with the other guy and like yelling and being like, oh, well, you're even fatter than Miranda. And it's like, that's supposed to be the joke. Like,
yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just, it's icky. I don't like it. And like, as someone who's always been bigger, it's not nice.
Mm. It's like a weird topic to handle. And they do it like somewhat well, but somewhat poorly. Like, it could be worse, I guess. But, so they then go to Miranda's getting her pussy ate.
She is getting her pussy ate. He's like, I know some ways we could burn off these calories, which unfortunately sex doesn't burn off that many calories.
Especially if you're like lying there being eaten out and not actually physically like humping someone or like.
Or you're just getting your pussy eaten. Like, it's just like, or you're doing it. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
It can't be any more than just talking.
Like, you probably would burn more calories masturbating than you would getting eaten out, but I mean, I don't know, so.
True, but she's loving it. Apparently he's doing a good job, until he comes up, and I guess this is the stupidest fucking issue we've had in a while. Apparently, I think her issue is more that he, like, gets her vag around his face.
So he very clearly, like the makeup artist very clearly made him very wet around his mouth. He was really going to town. He was not just, going in there pretty much with just his tongue. He was like full face, like motorboating her pussy. It seems
he was going to fucking town. Good for him.
It just good for him. She was enjoying it. And then he comes up, his face is quite wet. But he goes in for a kiss, and it's not even an open mouth kiss or anything. He just kisses her on the lips, and Miranda is just like horrified, like absolutely mortified by this. And then they skip to brunch, and Miranda's just like going off about how horrified she was about this experience.
Yeah, she was horrified. And all the rest of the girls are horrified too.
Yeah, I don't understand what the problem is. Okay, first of all, if it's that bad, think about how this person was just down there for however long doing the job. Like, I don't understand. You had it in your face for like 1 second. Second of all, like, it's not even that gross. Like, I really don't get it.
Yeah.
But, like, Carrie thinks it's gross. Samantha's like, well, when I was a lesbian, I was just in and out with, like, a little bit on my lips, and that was it. Because I was very good
then
at
you're
it.
You're not doing a good job then.
Like, okay, you ate out one person ever, and, like, that doesn't mean you can't be, like, good at it. But, like, it doesn't mean that you're, like, she's not exactly the most experienced person at eating pussy. So, like, okay. But yeah, Carrie does say Miranda went out with an overeater and he overate her, which like she tries to like, what? She's like, wow, the writers had to make an episode about someone who, is trying to lose weight from eating too much and being like, that means he eats pussy too much. Do you get it?
Do you get it? Do you get it? I saw a fucking meme the other day that said, chubby girls' pussies taste the best. It's their grandmother's recipe. And I lost my fucking mind thinking about that.
That is a lot.
That's a lot. I mean, it's quite possibly true, but like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about my grandmother giving me a fucking recipe for my own pussy.
Probably not great. I'm also just thinking about like, regardless of like anything about your body, like your body type, just the chemical makeup of everyone's pussy juices is so different. Like whether it's diet or whether it's just genetic or what, or cleanliness, hygiene, like like there are so many factors into your particular taste that like I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
it's so strange. I guess I haven't really, you know, had the fucking taster board. I haven't had a fucking smorgasbord of pussy, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't, like, know when, like, people, like, test wine and they're like, the palate is getting undertones of peach. Like, I can't do that. I'm just like, this tastes nice.
Yeah, no, for sure. God, that's like a dream job, huh? Like,
yeah. The flavor is immaculate.
Oh, like a nice, you know, nice dry vintage.
I do like how Samantha points out that like when guys go down on you, they come up looking really proud. Like they just came home from war.
Well, they should.
Oh,
if they did a good job, then yeah.
Do is so cute when they come up and they're like, "Did I do a good job?" And you're like, "Yeah, buddy,
you did."
Yeah.
Here's a cookie. Yeah, they do. They do make that comment. It's very good. And then, so Miranda is like, is this like a double standard? Because like after I give a blowjob, I'd be really offended if they didn't want to kiss me afterwards. And I'm like, that's absolutely a double standard. Like, that's,
yes.
Like, I don't understand. Like,
no, I don't get it.
But, yeah, Charlotte's like, that's why I always keep a tissue and they should wipe off their face and have an Altoid. This episode also brought to you by Altoids.
This episode is sponsored by Altoids. Use the code CityGirls for 20% off your first order.
God Christ, that's like, what, 5 brands now or something? We're at a lot now.
Yeah, that's a lot. Well, this because we've got the big bucks. I'm sorry, we sold out. So girls sell out. We got to make do.
Yeah.
The world's getting more expensive. What with Brexit, everything's going to cost more. I'm sorry.
That's true. I mean, what else is going to pay for Carrie's book deal? So that's it. Then Carrie makes kind of a rude comment, because Miranda asked the thing about blowjobs, and to Samantha specifically about if it's a double standard. Carrie's like, oh, Samantha doesn't, kiss them after, she just signs, seals, and delivers. High five, gamers. And then they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And Samantha's just like,
fucking know about this. So they're like, what are you talking? Have you had a fucking, like, are you okay? Are you still drunk from the night before?
Like, it's just this dig at Samantha that no one even gets, and Carrie just thinks it's funny, and Samantha's like, okay, like, are you really, you know, like, that upset about walking in on me, like, giving a man a blowjob in the privacy of my own office? Like, you don't have to be a bitch about it. And Carrie's like, I'm not being judgmental. And it's like, I mean, you kinda are. Like, she also could have, like, knocked maybe. Like, who knows, Samantha could have been in her office with a client or something, but,
it was a bit bold of her. But, yeah, and Samantha's upset. She's like, you know, she doesn't want us to make jokes about it and also tell the rest of the girls, like...
Yeah.
It's kind of understandable, but obviously Carrie's like, well, you're fine with, you know, talking about blowjobs and stuff. It's what we do. We're girls.
Yeah, it's like, it's really different when you're, like, owning your own sexuality versus when someone throws you over the bus for being a sexual person. Like,
yeah,
they're kind of different, but...
That, I will say, that happens to me a lot because obviously, like, I'm, you know, open and embrace the fact that, you know, I do be having a sex drive.
Mm-hmm.
And sex is fun and it's nice. And you know, I'll like talk about stuff and people will make little comments or like little jokes and I'm like, shut the fuck up. You don't know me like that.
Yeah, people really overstep boundaries when they like aren't that close to you. And it's like, even if you are that close, it's like one of those things that you joke about yourself. But, like, oh, I don't know. It's just, like, a weird boundary for other people to step over when they're your friends, even. So, but...
Yeah, I definitely understand.
Mm-hmm. So then we go to Carrie trying on clothes for the book photo shoot, and they're like clothes that Samantha's picked out, I guess, that they're supposed to be like sexy but chic or whatever. And Stanford brought his boyfriend Marcus, who's like the dancer guy, and Carrie comes out with her outfit on, and it's like this like pink, it's got like fluffy, it's like kind of see-through, how do you even describe this? Like,
I don't know. Well, it's like, okay, I got the perfect description. You know in Austin Powers, the, like, sex robots?
Right, yes.
It's what they wear, like, the fluffy little baby doll with the matching robe. Like, a very 60s, very Valley of the Dolls, very Jane Mansfield, like, that kind of thing.
Yes.
It's a lot. And it's also fucking great. I love it. I want one of these.
I think it's very good. Like, I wouldn't wear it in public, but I do think it's like, I mean, it like, I really don't know what Carrie exactly wants for her cover, because it's like, she does, like, I definitely understand not wanting to be naked, but she also did tell Samantha, like, sexy. I guess it's not really Carrie's brand of sexy, but like, Carrie is all over the fucking map in terms of like what she decides to wear ever. So I have no idea what the fuck she even would think is sexy, but it's definitely more of a Samantha kind of look, I guess. And Carrie very rudely is like, "This makes me look like a hooker," and it's like, okay, like Samantha's like, "I own one of these in red." Like, shut up.
It's great, and she's like,
Yeah, and then Samantha kind of like asks for the opinion of like Stanford and Marcus, and they're just like, they're kind of iffy on it. And like, this is kind of like the boiling point of the Carrie Samantha relationship this episode, because like they go and have a private conversation, and Samantha's just like, "I feel really judged by you in this episode, Carrie. How come you've been so mean to me this episode?" And Carrie's just like, "I'm not judging you. Like, I think everything's fine. I just don't like this for my book." And Samantha's like, "Okay, but no, like, for real, ever since like the blowjob thing, you've just been like weird and kind of judgmental. It's just like your tone of voice. It's like, even if you're not specifically saying like, I think you're a slut or something like that, it's like, it's the tone you're getting." And like, people really do tend to do that thing where they're like, "I'm not judgmental. I am fine with anything." But then like, they're very obviously not. Like, you can very easily claim to feel a certain way, but then actually be like the opposite of that. So
yeah, it's very easy to be like, "No, that's so cool. Like, oh my God, that's so fine. Like, that's so fun. Oh my God, you're amazing. Like, go. Wow."
Yeah, pretty much. So, and Samantha's absolutely right. Like, Carrie's just been kind of snarky about it. And she even makes this, like, kind of comment about it. Like, when Carrie's like, "No, I don't feel, I'm not judging you at all." And she, like, I don't even remember what she says, but she makes this kind of joke that's like, this is really not the time or place to be kind of poking fun at Samantha's insecurities here. Like,
yeah, it's not. Yeah. I mean, I think her reaction to the brunch thing should have been key for you to maybe say something in the car on the way over or whatever.
Yeah, like, I mean, definitely it's something uncomfortable to walk in on, and so it's like, maybe bring it up alone. And it's just like, I don't know. The way Carrie is just like, well, because Samantha's like, "Okay, well, what if I had walked in on you doing that?" And Carrie's like, "Well, I never would have done that, so it's not a problem." And it's like, that's exactly what Samantha's trying to say right now, is that like, you're entirely being like, "I would never do that, so it's bad and stupid." And yeah, I don't know. Samantha is she's vulnerable in this episode, which is like very understandable after everything that ended with Richard.
Yeah.
And
we don't know like how long this is afterwards, so I don't know.
Yeah. And yeah, Samantha does end up storming out, which is like kind of good for her, because like, I don't know, it's just so frustrating when like you confront someone about an insecurity you have and then all they do is like barely apologize and like kind of poke fun at it. And it's like, that's just a shitty front thing to do, especially when like you're right and they're wrong. And immediately after she storms out, she walks in on Stanford getting a blowjob from Marcus. And she's like completely shocked about it.
She is. It's great. She's just like, it's, you know, in The Shining. When the bear is getting the blowjob, it's sort of shot the same way.
Yeah, it kind of is. It's good.
Oh no, the bear is giving the blowjob.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact setup, but I know exactly what scene you're talking about. Yeah, it's a lot. And you know what? I gotta say is good for Stanford. Like, this puts the Stan in Stanford, if you ask me. So, getting his dick sucked dry by Marcus, and we love it.
Yeah.
And then we go to more oral sex like immediately after, because we go to Miranda getting eaten out again by Tom. And
this is the oral episode, I imagine. Everyone's getting dick, sucking dick, getting their dick sucked, getting their pussy ate. It's good.
It is some pretty good shit. You gotta admit, like, we stand oral sex in this podcast. We finish it every week by saying moe every day. Like, that's just our MO. So, but yeah, she's getting eaten out again, and the guy comes up to kiss her again, and you can see the wet on his face. He's been going to town. He's been you know, on the slip and slide, and she like stops him and kind of is just like, he's a little bit defensive about it because he's like, oh, what's wrong? Like, is there a problem? And she's like, well, it's not about you at all. Just like. She kind of tries to, like, crack a joke about it, but he's, like, sensitive about it, I guess. And he ends up leaving.
Yeah, he says, well, obviously, like, he isn't Weight Watchers. He specifically says, like, his ex-girlfriend would make little comments and criticize him a lot. Yes. So obviously it's going to be a touchy subject. But, like, I don't know. Just lie. Just say you don't like kissing with someone, you just don't like it. But yeah, she doesn't do it very tactfully, and like she makes a joke, and it's also like he says, like, I'm naked, I feel
exposed.
Exposed, exactly. He's fucking naked, and like he just did something for you, and it's like, that was a time.
Yeah,
you're gonna tell him this, and and do you know what? He sticks up for himself, and he leaves.
Yeah. Which is good. I feel like the moral of this episode is kind of like, if you're gonna apologize to someone for, like, little comments and things, like, do a sincere apology and, like, just maybe if someone's sensitive and you know they're sensitive about something, don't just, like, poke fun at them about it. Like, if you genuinely care about them, but...
Yeah, apologize and let them come to terms, you know, deal with it in their own time, like, give them space.
Yeah, exactly. And recognize that sometimes you are wrong when you are making little comments. So,
yeah.
So after that, that's the end of Miranda's story. And then we finish with just Carrie now. Carrie and Samantha. Carrie gets to Samantha's work. I guess it's been a few days since they kind of had their, like, little argument. And, she has been calling Samantha, but Samantha hasn't returned any of her calls, and Samantha's like, oh, well, I've been, you know, busy, and Samantha says the whole thing will all blow over, and Carrie's like, well, that's an interesting choice of words you made.
Yeah.
Like, God. But then they have a really nice kind of, like, makeup thing here, because, you know, Carrie tells Samantha that she really admires the way Samantha is and her style and everything, even though they're different. Like, they're very different people, but that's fine, and they're both valid for it. And she appreciates and admires Samantha. So.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And they, you know, have a bit of a heart-to-heart, and Samantha admits that, like, she's been sensitive because she's just broken up with Richard, and she doesn't know who she is anymore. She needs to find herself again after she's just had a breakup with someone she really cared about.
Yeah, and it's someone who really broke her trust and hurt her, too. It's not just like it was, you know, an amicable breakup. Like, he kind of shit on her. Like, she opened up her heart and she just got fucked over. And so Yeah, I can understand being sensitive. Like, she's trying to just be kind of like her old self, but she's kind of vulnerable, so. But Carrie is like, look, I really appreciate your input. I really want to hear what you think about these photos that I have that are like, this is what I'm kind of interested in doing, and I want to show them to you and get your help. And then they go do her photo shoot, and I really hate how her hair looks in this scene, because, like, sometimes her hair is done really nice. Like, sometimes she has, like, the most beautifully, like, the way her hair is curled is, like, really nice. In this one, it's, like, a really shitty perm.
Yeah, it looks very much like curled on purpose. Like, we put the curling irons on, but we didn't brush it out or anything afterwards, so it's just like very coily. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
Not a fan, because, like, she looks so good with curls, and I love curls, but it's just like they didn't do it well. I don't know.
No, I can tell these are fake curls.
Yeah.
I got my curl radar on. My curl third eye is beeping.
And we're like, fuck you, Carrie. You look like shit.
Fuck you, Carrie, with these fucking fake curls. Like, this is the thing. Sarah Jessica Parker has curly hair. It's just not of this texture.
No.
So it's like coiled. It's definitely, those are definitely like rollers, or I'm gonna say it's a fucking curling iron, and you didn't like brush it out afterwards, so it just looks too perfect.
You really do have to brush out curls after using an iron, like, yeah. But yeah, she helps Carrie out. Samantha helps Carrie out, and they're like, it's very cute watching like Carrie get her photo taken, and she's like wearing, it's kind of like a slutty suit type thing. Like,
it's like Judy Garland summer stock. Like, I'm just gonna wear the jacket and have my legs bare. Like, which is a good look.
It's a really good look. Like, the actual outfit's really good. I love it. But yeah, and then Samantha's like helping her like on the stage and everything, like getting her picture taken. And yeah, that's it. That's the end of the episode.
Yep, that's it. And we'd get like close-ups of SJP's face and Samantha being like, "Isn't she beautiful?" Which feels a bit on the nose when you're the producer.
Yeah, it's a little bit. But, you know, it's fine. We do love self-love, I guess. So, rankings. I feel like this is a little bit easy this week because Samantha seems like the very obvious first pick this week.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty accurate. I mean, the delivery boy thing could be seen as a bit dodgy, but he was into it.
He was into it. It's one of those things where it's like, if it had been a person who was not interested in these advances, it would extremely be, like, very painful to watch and terrible. So, like, it's not behavior that you should have. But, yeah. So aside from that scene, she was, like, she was very good at trying to support her friend and standing up for herself when she felt insecure, which I liked. And then I guess, like, Charlotte, like, she barely did anything this week. She literally just used Amazon.com. So, like, she's basically me when I'm like, ugh, I guess I hate myself enough to order something off of Amazon when I could just maybe go to a store and pick it up. Then, fuck. The thing is, I feel like Miranda's third, but this was a really bad week for Miranda. Like, she was pretty bad this week, but Carrie was just worse, so she got off easy.
Yeah, I would say that's also how I feel. Like, I don't know, I don't think Carrie was too terrible, she was just insensitive, which also is Miranda's problem. So yeah, they're kind of on equal pegging.
Yeah, they kind of are. It's just like Miranda's more likable than Carrie, and I guess like I can't really see Carrie even going out with someone like Tom to begin with. Like, I don't know. Like, he just seems like an actual nice guy. And I feel like Carrie is just, like, too... I don't know. I'm not sure. But I feel like Miranda's still better than Carrie. Carrie sucked. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. So yours are same order?
I would say so, yeah. I feel like... Because it was a filler episode, no one, like, particularly stands out, but also no one was too terrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not like anyone did anything, like, horrifyingly bad. Like, it's not like Carrie was, like, doing the shit where she was, like, cheating on Aiden or anything like that. Like, that was just horrendously terrible as a person. This is just, like, she's kind of shitty this week, and she kind of, like, keeps being shitty, but, like, in a way that's, like, not terrible, but still bad enough that it's, like, frustrating and annoying. I guess the one thing that's better about Carrie than Miranda is that Carrie did realize that she had been in the wrong, whereas Miranda was like, I don't want my pussy juice on my lips after someone's eaten me out. And it's like, I mean, okay, it couldn't be me, but whatever.
Yeah, it could not be me. I taste delicious, so...
It's like, what's the problem? But... so I guess we don't have any questions this week, so we can just go right to Patreon. So if you want to support us on Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/citygirlsmakedo. You can give us $1 a month to be a certified haymower. So at that tier, you get a special role in the Discord. You get access to any bonus content. So we are recording Keanu podcast very soon. So that is coming out probably not that long after this episode, I guess. And you also get to have access to the Secret Looker and Nanu channel in the Discord. And you can join the Discord from, the link is on Patreon, and I think it's also on Tumblr and Twitter at City Girls Make Do. But at $5 a month, you can be a cardboard cutout of a baby. You get all the $1 stuff. You also get an even specialer Discord role. You get a shout out on the podcast every week. So, shout out to Jennifer Snyder, Matt Ribeiro, Jess Ialachi, Summer Geist, Dan Mike Dawson Silva, PR the Disaster, Siberian Pine Hardwood, and shout out to our newest donor, our very first ever $10 donor, Alex Shoup. Big props for being Mr. Big Spender. We are like, holy shit, I can't believe that actually happened. So thank you so much to our newest $10 donor. And so the $10 perk is basically everything from the $5 and $1 tier, but then you can also, if you want to, listen in to us record the podcast every week. So, you know, all the fun unedited stuff that we always cut out of the podcast.
Raw, unfiltered, 100% pussy, like, you're fucking us with no condom. That's it.
That is exactly what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's pretty fucking good for $10 a month, if you think about it. When you put it that way. Oh, shit. For the $5 a month level, you also get Steve voice submissions. I forgot to say that. Which we have one this week, which is what reminded me. I
think we have two, really. Didn't Siberian Pine someone in the Discord? They sent a video.
Oh, fuck. I didn't watch the video if they did. Where is it? You know I don't watch videos.
It's in the general, I think.
Oh, shit. Okay. Wait, was it recent? Like, was it tonight?
I think so. Maybe I'm making this up.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just going to watch it right now because it is in the Discord.
Okay.
Oh, wait. No, they're saying I'd ask for this in Steve voice, but it already is.
Mm.
And the media can't be played on my computer either. Probably
okay, well,
because
that's
I'm in
valid.
Canada.
I can't read.
It's fine. We have a Steve voice submission from Tumblr user and our $5 donor, Mike Dawson. And the Steve voice says, I don't know if you're still taking... Oh, wait, this is not part of the submission. I don't know if you're still taking Steve voice submissions, Miranda. And to be honest, I'm worried some of my past ones have been too much. But anyways, this site is hentai-free, Miranda. Looking for it? Leave. And believe me, if there was a Steve voice submission that was too much, I just wouldn't do it. So... I appreciate the submission. And I agree, we're also a hentai-free podcast, so I mean, just listen to what Steve said, so.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. So that's podcast, gamers. If you want to follow us on Twitter or Tumblr, you can do that at City Girls Make Do. If you want to find us on Noisepace, it's noisepace.xyz, where all of the other good podcasts are that we love to promote. If you want to find me on Twitter, I'm at Age of Oddish, and I'm on Tumblr at Windfall Island.
And I'm on Tumblr at Dork Phoenix and Twitter at Alex the Virgo. Or am I Alex? Yeah, I'm Alex the Virgo and Alex the Virgo on Instagram. I forget these things.
We all forget. It's fine. You can follow me on Instagram, I guess. It's Ruffles, RUFHLES. But, like, I don't post that much, so it's not that exciting. But you can still follow me there if you want. It's, like, not private or anything. Anyway, this is the end of the podcast. So you know what we say? So long and good night. And fuck cops and mow hay every day.
So long and good night. Fuck cops. The only blue life that matters is Sonic.
And Vriska.
Okay. And yeah, mow hay every day. Eat that pussy like it's a Krispy Kreme.
Eat that pussy like it's a fucking Krispy Kreme, and then kiss your partner on their lips afterwards.
Kiss
Bye,
both lips, baby.
Yes, kiss both lips. Love it. Bye.
Bye.